Hi everyone and welcome. I want to talk about the Vichy Laboratories Aqualia Thermal, and they label this as the Spa de Nuit, or I don't know how to pronounce that. So I started using this probably over 6 months ago. I think I probably started using this right after my son was born. And I will talk about that in a different video in regards to breastfeeding and going to it when your body is going through changes after being pregnant and giving birth. So my skin has been completely different. It has always been very sensitive and has always been somewhat in a dry side. However, ever since I was pregnant and I've given birth, that has really blown up significantly. So I was looking for something because there were times when I would wake up and I just kind of felt like my skin was still dry and it was just patchy in certain areas, and I was just having a hard time, and being a new mom, you're tired, and I'm breastfeeding, so I'm also dehydrated. My skin just got super dry, like extremely dry. My lips were always felt dry and rough, no matter how much lip balm I put on. It was just always doing that. So, I was just looking around. If you've never breastfed, you're probably not going to understand this. But when you're breastfeeding your baby, you're doing so many things that you want to keep on trying to, stay awake. And so a lot of times I either have the TV on or I go on my iPad and I'm just looking at stuff, looking at videos or just reading stuff, just keeping myself alert. And I stumbled into this. So I already have the Vichy, the Aqua Thermal Rich Cream, which I do use still. However, this is something for like that extra oomph. There were a lot of people when I went to Amazon that they were just using it as a facial mask. And you can do that if you want to. And the great thing, what I've noticed with the Vichy Aqualia Thermal line is if you are slightly dry, you use very little. If you are drier than previous and you want more hydration, you use a little bit more of the cream. That has worked for me significantly, even before I was pregnant and during I was pregnant and after I give birth. Today, actually, what I have used is the Vichy Laboratories Aqua Thermal Rich Cream. And my skin is completely hydrated. It doesn't feel dry at all, but my skin is glowing yet not greasy. I don't feel like a grease spot. I don't feel like someone just threw a bucket of oil on my face. With this, oh my God, because there were times in which the other cream, I would wake up and I just still felt really dry and my skin felt stretched. I was seeing some lines that weren't there before, and that's just dehydration. So I stumbled into this and I tried it out. This is a bigger jar versus the other jar. This is actually 2.54 fluid ounces. The other one was only 1.6 or 1.7. It is bigger. This is lighter. It looks like that. This is actually my second jar. It smells really beautiful. From what I've noticed, and I have tried so many different kinds of Vichy products, they always smell like that extremely luxury spa. So I've never had an issue with that. And I am very sensitive in a lot of things. I've never had an issue when it comes to their products. I am really happy about that. So I tried it out and I tested it out, and I wanted to make sure that, I finished a whole bottle, a whole jar. And this is my second jar. what I've noticed is if I use very little of it, so what I was saying, when, so I tested this, I use this in the fall, winter, spring, and summer now. So I've actually used this different times of the year, different times of the day. If I don't feel my skin is extremely dry, I tried it and I just use a little bit, like that amount, and I don't want to waste it. And I spread that all over, including my neck. And if there is still a little bit left, I just rub it everywhere in my hands, my nails, my elbow. I never waste any of that. So that's what I do. If I do feel that my skin just, I just want a little bit more hydration, and I just want that as a preference, I actually double that. I actually use 2 fingers. It's a lot, but it doesn't pill, which is so beautiful. Not a lot of creams do that. I have used so many different kinds of creams. I've used Clinique, I've used Estee Lauder. What else have I used? Shiseido, Neutrogena. If you name a brand, I might have used it. And so, I've also used like natural brands, all vegan, all organic, and all that stuff. I've used from, the only thing I can't use is Pond's. I'm allergic to Pond's. So, what I notice is it just really soaks in your skin, regardless of how much I put on. And I don't really put on like a whole tablespoon worth for my face. And if I don't put that much. If the most I've used is probably about 2, I fill 2 of my fingertips, and that's it. And to do a comparison, this is usually what a moisturizer would look like. This is pretty much the standard size. This is 1.69 fluid ounces, or 50 milliliter. And this is 75 milliliter. And you can see the difference right here. Do you see that? Right there. I am almost out of my Vichy. I don't know how many times I bought this. This is probably like my 10th jar. I don't even know. I buy these so many times. And sometimes I just stock them up. If there's a sale anywhere, I just do that. So going back to this. There are times in which I feel like I might need a little bit of oomph, and sometimes I use them both together. I have used this as a day cream, even though it's supposedly this is for night. And I've also used this as a day cream in the summer. I actually started to use that because I was kind of running out. I mean, I still had a lot, and then I kind of thought, why don't I just try using this during the day? It was just something that popped in my head. I have another jar. It just kind of just popped in my head, and I tried it, and my skin still felt really hydrated during the day. I didn't have an issue feeling like my skin was stretchy or itchy or dry. None of that at all. So what I would suggest, if your skin isn't extremely dry, or even if it is, and you're one of those people that have sensitive skin, I would suggest you give this a try. Even if you have sensitive skin, like you just had a baby, or you're pregnant, this is really good. I've tried this, I've tested it, and my skin is super sensitive, and it passed with flying colors. The weird thing is that this is richer, and I would use these together during the winter time, and it was still okay for me. I am still searching for something to give me a little bit more of a boost, just because I just can't drink enough water during the day, and I know that's my responsibility, but since I'm breastfeeding, all of the water that I'm drinking majority of them just goes to my breast milk, so I really need to hydrate more. I just don't have the time, number one. Number two, I can't fit that much water. It's not like I'm not drinking any water. It's just not enough time, I think. So, do I recommend this? Yes, 100%. 100% you need to try this. Why? I never had any negative side effect like breakouts or irritation or a flare up or any kind of dermatitis, none of that. I never had any hives, never had any bumps, nothing. If you have more of a little bit, even of an oily side, this is still gonna work for you, and I would recommend to use very little and just spread it out and even kind of pat it in if you have oily skin, because oily skin tends to it gets greasier the more friction you add to it, and you don't need a lot. So this will get really cheap for you, because this is $28 US for this big of a jar. And if you have oily skin, this is gonna last you a while, even if you use it twice a day. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you hit the like button, the subscribe button, as well as the bell, so you'll be notified every time I do have a new video uploaded. There should be links over here in regards to a few of my other videos, and I hope you do watch those as well. Thank you. Bye.